Welcome back. Today we have something a little different from the normal The Warning and Bandmade. We are checking out Ren. He just released a new song. I have seen years ago when it first came out. I did watch Hi Ren. However, that was when it first released, so that was about 3 or 4 years ago. And I watched the crap out of that. Uh, Apart from that, I think I had only allowed myself to watch the Bittersweet Symphony. At the time, I had a bunch of mental stuff going on, so I couldn't really get myself to watch more of his stuff. It's not that I don't appreciate him or any of that. It was at the time I didn't want to, I guess, resonate with myself with whatever music he was going to put out. So I purposely put it off, being like, oh, one day I'll react to it, or oh, one day I'll check them all out. And then that day has been, 4 years later. So, apart from that, if you guys don't know who Ren is, he is an artist from, I believe, England. I'm trying to remember everything here. He had undiagnosed Lyme disease, and it was undiagnosed for so long that it started causing mental issues. I believe it's mild psychosis or schizophrenia, one of the two. And very, very talented. With that being said, like I said, I haven't seen High Ren since it first released. So if you would want a reaction to it, let me know. Just know that it won't be my first time reacting to it, but it will have been a long time since I had seen it. With that being said, we're going to jump into this and check out Ren Vincent's Tale of the Bedroom. That's another thing, is I'm not sure if there's a certain order to his songs that I'm supposed to watch. So you guys let me know. I may be starting in the wrong song to start with, but you let me know. Enough yapping. Let's get going. It's a thing that I'm starting to notice is I was in a cell. Like in the pictures and thumbnails that I see in High Ren, he was in a wheelchair, I believe. And now he's in a cell. And I'm sure based off of that, the amount of effort he put into the other song, I'm sure that's intentional, but it has a very raw sound to that guitar. Making that guitar sound like it's crying.
Have you ever felt anger with no nowhere to place it. Vincent felt cold, neglected and jaded, impotent, empathy castrated. Look for the new thing, always look for the new thing, but never look inside, never look within, without, above, below, same thing. Wait, it gets deeper than that. The insane thing is sane men living in insane terrain, contort insane brains that are kind of deranged, strange, without the factor of cause and effect. Factually, the man's a casualty of constant neglect. Let's start at the start. Vincent was born in the dark, home birth to a mother painted scars on her arm. Track march from the dragon, China white in the palm. Shooting up the birth canal, Vinny fell out like yarn. Tumbled out, himself unraveling, and that was the theme. Exceptionally average grade, sprayed with low self-esteem. From the fire to the frying pan, painting it green. When it's the cash that rules everything around me.
He has a very similar way of talking and I guess rapping that I've always attributed to Eminem, where I would never be able to repeat the speed or memorize probably everything that like Eminem says, but I can understand everything he says, if that makes sense. Like it hit me when I had listened to Rap God that I was like, I'm not gonna ever be able to rap that fast. But I don't need to go back 6 or 7 times to hear everything. Like I can hear everything that he's saying, and it all makes sense. So I think that's the difference, I think, between Eminem and some of these other, I would say, like speed rappers, where you're just like, all right, cool, that was fast, but what the hell did you even say? Whereas with Ren here, there was a lot going on, but I caught every word that he was saying. I think that in itself is a skill more than just being able to rap fast.
From the fire to the frying pan, painting it green. When it's the cash that rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, funny Vin. He weren't ever good at hustling, shitty jobs that he was dead and stocking. Started a combustion, nothing. Pulled him out of debt, the debt collector's rushing to be stripping him of everything. Eventually, there's nothing. The cycle is a cycle for a psychopath on ice. The day repeats, the days are weeks, the weeks are most your life. When the day's done, it's the same one. It's a repeat, it's a rerun. A deja vu religion, a foreboding of a prison. Whole Britain, Great Britain, how Britannia ruled the wave. We started out with intentions and we ended up like slaves. Drink to kill the tension, but the drinks cost your wage. What helps you is what kills you when you're living too deep.
Yeah, that last part hit pretty close. For those of you who don't know, and you probably wouldn't know, I'm a little over 2 years without drinking. Not I don't care at all if you drink or if anybody around me drinks. Just for me, 2 years ago, that was a very low point when it came to my drinking, and it was the same thing. I was spending money that I didn't have on alcohol to drink. What he said, what helps you? It wasn't helping. I thought it was helping. It was basically just blocking everything out, and yeah, that's what I turned to instead of therapy or talking to other people or you know speaking to people who cared about me like an adult. I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna hide it, and everything's gonna be fine. And then it wasn't fine. So.
Helps you is what kills you when you're living too deep. And so it goes. Vinny starts to drink to let go. Soon he's drinking, cause when he don't drink, every day is a day on death row. So he drinks so we don't have to think. Mercy, days bittersweet. When the spirit that's inside of him sinks in his teeth, And the months turn over, May to October. More days pissed than the days he spent sober. Skin looks older, demeanor gets colder. Sledgehammer swing to that chip on your shoulder. A cold prison deep in alcoholism. 40% proof, no juice. Inhibition get loose by decision and taboos. When we're living for the booze, who's who he lose himself to? One too many, 1, 2, 3 shots down. Drown those sorrows up in London town. If we in for a penny, we in for a pound. Fate comes full circle. Now it's Vinny boys round.
Well, he basically sang about exactly what I was saying. Um, yeah, it's for some people it's just not. It doesn't work, and somebody like me who has I have very ADHD. I'm sure you're gonna end up seeing that on this channel. I'm gonna start reacting to things that are like, you're like, what are you doing? But a side effect of that, at least for adults, is you can become hyper obsessive. And once you finally grasp onto something, you don't want to let it go. And for me, that at the time, that was, you know, having a drink after work became normal, and then that turned into having multiple drinks after work, and then that turned into multiple drinks after work, and yeah, it really put a big strain on relationships and on money, which more strain on relationships because of the money. And yeah, so I encourage anybody who is going through anything and wants to get better to reach out to people. And I say want because you can't have it forced on you. It might work temporarily, but you have to want to change. And usually it means finding something that you want to change for. For me, I have kids. That was more important in the end than anything else. Oh, okay. Thought we went to a different video.
Siren starts singing as the screws murder silence. Stand on my Miranda, my right to remain violent. One man's resistance is another man's tyrant. When tyrants make the law, they go to war with non-compliance. Locked up, Vinny been locked up since his mother knocked up. Kitty grew up fast, pulled his socks up, chop chop. Keep that credit top. Time is money, tick tock. Quantify the price upon your soul and then it's chop shop. Not particularly special, Vinny spent his life a vessel for the musings of the devil. Repetition caused some issues, turned a hide into a jackal. Building pressure in the kettle, bubble up to boiling level. Ooh man, he's a mad lad, falling on the warpath. Vinny split the atom like a Nagasaki bloodbath. Skies are raining black ash, copper car lights flash. Red and blue kaleidoscope, some folks don't like that. Never mind, just a victim of society. The one that serves you alcohol and sells you your sobriety. The one that sells you sex as it pedestals virginity. The one where we elect these lying pests with God ability.
Yep, that's seems to be a more common theme with a lot of these laws and things that are being passed. It's like, hey, we're gonna advertise all this stuff, and then afterward we're gonna tell you, nope, you can't do that. That's wrong. That's illegal. Society doesn't like that. But we have a way to fix this. Go do this, and we'll sell you this, or your insurance can pay for this. And meanwhile, you're paying a premium for insurance to pay for something that was already advertised to you. It's just, the conspiratorial part of me wants to be like it's all planned from the start, but the reality is they probably know what they're doing. Hey, there's a market for this. We need to make money doing it, so let's do it. And then it starts to get out of control, and they're like, all right, well, you know what? There's also a market for is getting people out of this. So let's do that instead. Basically hands in both pots type thing. It would be like Marlboro owning all the cigarettes, but then all of the clinics to help you quit smoking. which, I mean, who knows? Maybe they do own some of them, but.
One to the two to the three to the one, our boy spun his own web-fed tarantulas come like nine to the nine to the nine through his crimes timelines intersect. Richard's fate was designed. Just set the scene, it's 2019. Richard and a boy named Screech. The hands of fate, they touch and reach. Siblings buried, blood it bleeds. Etched in Richard's memories. Falls a model, troubled sleep. Takes a time of absently. Hitting the bottle to soften the blow in the walls of yourself. And there's nowhere to go. When his friends on the force, they don't call, they don't show. Go to therapy, raggedy, seem to plateau. When his popo went loco and woe so low that his mojo no mono rebound, no yo-yo. And so the time it moved slow-mo. You see the case was never closed, cause the motive was confusing. Orphan killed his sister, but his sister was removed when the mother died in childbirth, but dying womb life brings. The cycle of samsara always was quite amusing. Brother killed his sister, but the records seem to show the brother never met his sister, didn't even know. So the tragedy was a catastrophe, a fate fucked up. Richard's losing sleep while his whole family's talk.
So now we're going into the kind of the PTSD depression route, and same, like you said, no therapy, just kind of nobody there to help reach out to him, nobody from the police force to talk to him, nobody to guide him through some of the absolutely, messed up stuff that I'm sure gets seen daily by police, firefighters, EMTs, doctors, all these people who see just the worst of everything. And there's no support.
The 5 stages of grief is a common psychological model, often used to provide reassurance to all those stricken by loss. For loss comes with a cost like frostbite, shockingly cold, paving the road to decomposure, decomposing your soul. 1. Denial, pretending for a while, reality retired, but everything is changing. Richie lost the will to smile, how to reconcile when murdering a child. The 2nd stage is anger, feel it bubbling the bile. Anger, damn the man that served the hand that wrote the plan. If God is will that's good and grand, then damn we are all a damn forsaken by creation. Revelations Richard cannot stand. The 3rd stage is bargaining, begging God for second chance. Lord, I know it is a reach, but I'm begging on my knees. Resurrect the boy James, resurrect the boy Screech. I'll devote my life to thee, I will live a life of peace. Stage 4 is depression, that's a lesson taught in grief. Depression, demonic like possession, that feeds upon this spark for life, no water is refreshing.
I do like how he's changed his personalities per stage.
I will live a life of peace. Stage 4 is depression, that's a lesson taught in grief. Depression, demonic like possession, that feeds upon this spark for life, no water is refreshing. No sunlight brings him warmth, no sleep will ever bring resting. His guilt and doubt are oh so loud, the silence sounds so deafening. Depression, the numbing of expression, the negative obsession, ruminating in oppression. Stressing is a lesson when your mind begins reflecting. That's stage number 5. 5 is acceptance. The road's never quite ideal, but slow rise, dust it off. And let me tell you something, Richie, man, I'm proud, cause you pulled a stitch from the seam, the wound was open weeping. Felt like a regression, but that flesh was set for healing. You wrestled imperfections, misdirections, walked with demons. Most demons are a fallen angel, truth has double meanings. Perspective disconnects the trauma, trauma turns to lessons. The biggest curse you'll ever face could be your greatest blessing. Remember, in the darkest times, no need for second guessing. No path is ever linear, a stumble leads to stepping. You're a soldier, a scholar of life's sorrow, and day follows day. There will always be tomorrow when it gets colder. Whatever, it's only weather. Rain feeds the crops, let them grow, think clever. I'm so fucking proud of you, Richie, my boy. I know you're itchy, my boy, to get to work and deploy. Serve and protect my don, in for the right reason. I know you think you've done wrong, but look at who you become. It's your first day at work, big man. Hold that head up high, my friend. Come on. We're all proud of you, Richie. I hope you get out there and smash it. I mean, what could go wrong?
Uh-oh. I feel like I missed the giant plot twist. Because I've seen a thumbnail with him standing in an alley with a guitar. So maybe it's good that I watched this one first. Just like when I watched High Run. That was a roller coaster and a half. Holy crap. Thank you guys for checking that out with me. That was an experience and a half. If you like that video, definitely make sure you go check out Ren. Show him some love. He's, from what I remember reading, he's been through quite a lot. I did think while I was watching this, I did see one more of his videos, and it was one where he was rapping in like a junkyard or something. I think it was like the hunger or hungry or something like that. So I guess I've seen 3 of his videos. But thank you so much for watching, and leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you all soon. Bye!